Hey, so today I'm just gonna do a really unstructured video because I'm not really sure how I could structure this one to properly say the things that I want to say without getting confused or anything like that. With editing and things, sometimes it's harder to say what you want to say when you know you have to go and edit a bunch of stuff out later. So I'm just not gonna worry about that. So it's probably gonna be a very long video, but oh well. I read a couple of years this book. Oh, sorry, a couple of years ago I read it. It's called Unraveled by Maria Housden. And this was written, let's see what the date is. I cannot remember for the life of me. 2004. Maria has written a few books. One of them is called Hannah's Shoes. It's about her daughter that died from cancer, I believe, or leukemia, something like that. And this one is actually after her daughter's death, a little bit before and after. It has really little to do with her, but it's about finding a sort of peace in your life, breaking away from the normalcy that our society accepts as a good life. And this book is particularly important to me because I picked it up on a whim. I really didn't. I like autobiographies. I like knowing about people. So I went to the library one day, picked it up. It's actually the library's book. Kind of stole it accidentally. Long story that, but I know all the writers and readers out there are gonna hate on me. But point is, this book, you need to read it. It's really good. There's a lot about this book that I wholeheartedly, completely disagree with. As a Christian, everybody's gonna be like, ah. As a Christian, I do believe in the sanctity of marriage. I believe that divorce is a very, very last option. I think that, in the case of abuse, yes, it's definitely something that I think that you are entitled to look into, and if you feel like you need to get out of that marriage for your own safety, the safety of, if you have children, of your children, or even for the safety of the other person, then by all means, you do what you have to do. But I think that it's so hard nowadays for people to get that, you got to try your hardest. You made a commitment and you need to see it through. And I think commitment, just in general right now, and since the beginning of time, we're humans. We're not good at it. We're not good at keeping promises. So I definitely think that that's something that people need to work on. And being married myself, I feel like I need to work on that as well. But I think that this book is very, very good for a Christian to read, because Maria Housden has never said she's a Christian. In fact, I have her on Facebook. I think she's an amazing lady. She's just such an inspiration. But she will post things from like Buddhism and Christianity and all sorts of different things. And she's made statements about Christianity, about how she has a problem with it because she loves the love of Christ that Christians proclaim, but she's like, I hate the Christian. I hate the fact that they say one thing and do another, and they are typically pretty freaking crappy people, because they get on this high horse of religion, and on they get set in their ways of being self-righteous, and there's no humility, there's no genuine love. You cannot have genuine love without humility, and that's something that you rarely see in a Christian. And so she definitely has a problem with that, and I do too. I completely agree with her. And I find myself actually hesitating saying that I'm a Christian lately, not because I'm ashamed of what I believe, but because I hate what people get from them. I hate that if I say that, I don't want someone to be like, oh crap, they're going to judge me now, geez, can't share anything, and I know obviously with your personality and the way that you treat people, they'll know if you're trustworthy or not, or at least to some extent, but I still hate that. I hate that I have to say I'm a Christian, but I'm not one of those. You know what I mean? It really, really sets me off when I say that and somebody instantly, their guard goes up, and it's like they can't share anything, they can't be real around me, and I hate that, because I'm one of the, I try to be as real as I possibly can. Like, I'm not going to pretend that I don't screw up. I do all the time. I do every day. And I'm not going to say that I'm perfect. It's not about being perfect. It's about doing your best, and because we can't be perfect. I digress. Anyway, So she has a problem with Christianity. And she does admit that she's done things that she shouldn't have done. Divorce, however, is not one of them. In this book, divorce is praised in her situation, not in general, but in her situation. Finding yourself is praised. Find yourself, please. Like, people, find yourself, because everybody's in the wrong job, everybody's in the wrong place in their life, my gosh. But I think that the book should be read very, very carefully. She basically goes through, recently after her daughter's death, she goes from before it and some of the bad things that have happened in her marriage, some abuse actually in her marriage before her daughter had died, and then afterwards some of the neglect that was going on. There's an interesting phenomenon of women divorcing their husbands. I say women because, and men too, but I've particularly seen a lot of women do this, where they will divorce their husbands years and years after a specific epitome of abuse. You can have arguments, you can have a lot of neglect, you can have a lot of misunderstandings. Your marriage can be pretty dang crappy for a long time. And then something really bad will happen that if you were to divorce them at that point, you would kind of be justified. But for some reason, women hold on and they hold on and they hold on. And then they get criticized later for divorcing them later when the marriage is still crappy, when there's really not a lot going on, but nothing major is happening. And I want to explain this because a lot of people just fail to realize the fact that women, we are great at, men too, but women are really, we don't act like we're great at this, but we are. We stuff things down. And I get women being all, that's sexism and all this stupid crap, but the fact is, women are generally, now I'm not, just saying, women are generally a lot more submissive than men. And they tend to, in relationships, kind of fall under the man in the sense that, what he says is kind of, just a little bit above hers. In this case with Maria in her book, it kind of seems that way. It kind of seems like, she does the laundry. She stays home with the kids. She kind of, has a very domestic side going on. And in the book, she eventually breaks free of that. She does that by committing adultery. And that is a big no-no. No. I don't care if that person... I don't care who they are. I don't care what they've done for you. I don't care. Your commitment is your commitment to your husband. If you need to divorce him based on abuse or something, that's very serious, fine, go ahead. But you do not sleep with another man. You do not even lust after another man. You don't do any of that until you have already ended your previous marriage, because that's the thing. You keep your promises until the last of it, until you can't anymore, until there's physically no way that you can, for your safety, for theirs, for your children. You don't. And I completely disagree with her decision to do that. Now, I'm not going to say that it totally ruined her life, because obviously it didn't. She, God used it, and she ended up completely falling in love with this man, and they realized it wasn't a good thing exactly that what they had done, but they realized they had feelings for each other. They ended up saying goodbye. This is done. We're over with it. Let's go our separate ways again. And she went back home, and went back to her husband, her kids, and all of this stuff. And life went on. But they eventually met up later. After she had divorced, they had gotten married. I believe they're still married right now, actually. Very, very, very inspirational man, very inspirational woman. They are a match made in heaven. They really are. Beautiful people. But, I do stress that that the decisions that they made were not good. But what my point is in saying all of this is that I guess I want Christians to... I guess there's a happy middle. There's a happy middle between living the life that everyone says you're supposed to live, and then living the life that you believe you should. She realized really late what she should have been doing this entire time. She wanted to travel the world. She wanted to write. She wanted to do, all of these things. She was a feeler. She's a soul person. She wants to, explore and create and, just a born artist, and she was totally confined in her domestic life. Like I would die. Like, God forbid I become domestic. Holy Lord, I cannot do that. And I'm trying the best that I can, even being married to, and my husband knows this too. That's not how I am, and I hope that's what he loves about me. Um, but and we want kids and things, but you can have that life and still not be trapped by it. You can have a husband, you can have kids, you can be married and have a strong commitment without, I guess, missing out in life. You choose where you go way more than you think you do in life, and um, I want to have a very strong marriage. I want to have children, and I want to explore the world as much as I can, and I want to be able to, teach my kids to explore. I cannot wait to be able to, like, take my kids places and, like, show them things, and oh my gosh, that's going to be so fun. But I just think that, there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, find yourself and don't let anyone hold you back, including your spouse, divorce them, it's cool. You got to do this for you, you got to do this for you. There's all of this you stuff going on. Just, no. It's so much more than just you. And if you really want to make an impact in the world, if you really want to change things, if you really want to be your true self, then you're going to love other people and you're going to do the best for yourself and other people. And, I think that the decisions she made were not good, that she should not have committed adultery, but she did, God used it, and she met a very wonderful man, a man that is not abusing her, is not neglecting her, a man that inspires her, who loves her. And I think that Christians really need to be a little bit more sensitive to the women who divorce later, because you are never really going to fully understand a marriage until you're the one in it. You're not. Being married now, I get that a lot more than I did when I hadn't been. I'm recently married, so it's not been that long, but still, I get it. Like, there are things, little nuances you couldn't even begin to explain to someone. It's too complicated. You see too much of this other person, they see so much of you that, you could never justify your actions wholly to someone, because they're never going to see every part of it. But so I love this book so much, because I struggle when I read it, when I think about it, is like, I hate that she did that. Oh, like, that must have hurt her kids, it hurt her husband, or probably, I mean, it did hurt her. She did say that, that there was all of a sudden this complication, this tension, but at the same time, God used that. She let go of it. She turned her back on it completely. She let herself grow from it, and then God gave it to her, and he was like, this is what you should have, this is what's right. And now she's so much better off, and she lives life to the fullest, and she has grandchildren now, I believe. I think so. But her son's a really, like, a super pro basketball player or something. She loves her kids love her, and it's cool. And I think that her life has really taken a good turn. And I think that, she's not claiming Christianity, but there's a lot of her that is so wholly Christian that I wonder, I don't know. I wonder. I would love to have coffee with Maria Housden. I would love to ask her so many questions, because she is a phenomenal woman. And I think that, her raw honesty in her book is beautiful, because it's true humility, and you don't get that from a lot of Christians. You don't get that from a lot of people. It's just people aren't honest about themselves and the things that they've done, and how they're growing as a person. And I think it's just such a cool thing that she did by writing this book. So all that to say, huge ramble. Just read this, Unraveled, Maria Housden. That's how you spell her name right there. It's kind of weird. But Hannah's Gift, not Hannah's Shoes, that's something else. I don't know. Hannah's Gift is the other book that she read. I need to get that. I really need to get that. I haven't been able to find it, though, here. So, at the library that I'm at. But get the book, read it, please. And I would love to see video responses or comments on it. I know it's an old book, I know. But I just, I cannot grasp how good this book is. And I'm going to be posting more videos about this, because the whole, like, finding yourself thing and Christianity and how sucky Christians are at it, I really, like, I don't know, it's a big thing on my mind, it's a big thing on my heart. So I'm going to be talking about that a lot on future videos, but I just wanted to do this one real quick because it was on my mind today. And I had nothing better to do. So I'm also going to read the book again, and I think I'm going to be maybe posting some blog posts about it, maybe do another video on it. So yeah, Maria Housden, amazing lady. Check out the book and add her on Facebook. I love her stats. I love her posts. She's great. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and sorry this was rambling and digressing and everything, but whatever. Yeah, subscribe if you want, comment, whatever. Have a good day. Bye!